Morning, morning, morning. What's up, Chris, Jack, Purple Mango, Taylor, Jazz, Devin, Anna J, Lona. What's up, Gary? Good morning, good morning. C-Bar, Lisa, Brady, Mel. What's up, Zach? See your hype this morning. What's up, Steven, Wag, Cheech, Boo Boo? Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, Isaiah? As you guys can see, I haven't added anything to my charts. Just left it as is. We'll go ahead and add everything this morning. Good morning, Paul, Terry, Sonia, JB. Good morning. Hopefully everybody had a good, restful, relaxing weekend to some extent at least. Hopefully not too crazy. Not be able to take this morning, starting a new job today. Totally fine. And hopefully you get that job today. Or not get the job, I hope you have a great time at your new job. Hopefully you enjoy it. Good morning from Bavaria. Wow. Good morning, Hans. Looking forward to this week. You should be. Should be a good week. Happy Chinese Lunar New Year to anyone who celebrates. Awesome. Finally get to trade at home today instead of school. Hopefully you do better, man. Just don't get ahead of yourself. Don't force. Don't overtrade. That's a big thing people do whenever they have a little bit more time on their hands, is they'll catch themselves overtrading. So don't do that. Try to watch yourself. Again, it's easier to say than do, but you know. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Gabriella. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we pretty much have our break above set. It's basically 397.30. You know, this general vicinity is kind of the break above, right? Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Thought I had the rectangle tool. But this is essentially the area you want to look past for longs to truly take over outside of this range. You do have the previous day close for them to try to short-term sit on. So if they don't break this, there's still a good chance they try to hold the meat of the pre-market low. And guys, if you ever see a candle like this that like messes up your screen, just adjust it. You can move it back up to here if you want at 395, because marking a pre-market low down here isn't going to help. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 395 at 16, because that's kind of the meat of all this extended hours trading all the way into the pre-market. I'm not even really caring about that candle today. Yesterday's open, yesterday's low, and that's basically it. We have everything set. Pan it up a little bit just so we could see everything, but we see our targets up here. I added this level in between that's not part of the chart link from last night. I didn't really like that this range from 397.30 up to 400 were so what felt wide. So I added 399 in between. So that'll be the first target. That'll be the second target if this area breaks. If we get a break of 395, we have to assume they want to try to retest 394, maybe even 392.60. But this would be the big key level today if they did pull back, because this is kind of where price pushed up to. Held under, consolidated. So there's a lot of volume sitting right here. They dip back down and they take it over. No retest either. They just kept going. So this is going to be a big key level to go hold as support if they do end up cracking 395 and 394. So we'll keep that on watch. But let's go ahead and type this up. Real quick though, before I move on, let's talk about bigger time frame. Which I shared this last night as well, just so everybody had it. But buyers will be looking to fight over 396s right up here. To retest 400 again with 403, 405, 407, and 411.70s above. Bears looking to maintain under 400 to keep the price down and break 386s in the grand scheme of everything. 386 to 400 is the current range for SPY. That's again the area between that 13 to almost 14 day of consolidation where they held it as resistance, so 386. And then we have our 400, the level that we pushed up to after retesting and rallying, and we rejected almost a real first time, a second, third time, and now we're kind of getting back up here with a little bit of rising volume over the previous day from that little retest we had. So they went down and almost tested the area we thought. Now the big question is, are we going to range trade between here? Are we going to break out, hold on top, continue higher? Are we going to move lower? Are we just going to range trade in here for a little bit until more catalyst comes out, more bigger news from the Fed or any kind of CPI data? We need to see. So that's generally kind of what we're looking at on the bigger time frames and the smaller time frames. Give me a thumbs up if you understand what we're looking at here in the YouTube chat. And while y'all do that, I'm going to start typing this up so we can get it ready for having on a list. So let me type this up. gonna type 50. 60 feels weird. Below 395. Target 394. Target 2. 392.65. Awesome. Looks like the majority of you understand what we're looking for here. Good, good, good. What's up, Frank? Good morning. Good morning, Sandollar, Cabinas, William, Anderson, Justin, Sherman. Good morning. Good morning, Rowdy. Always glad to see you pop up. What's up, Daffy? Good morning. All right, so majority of you guys understand what we're looking at here. Good. Let's go through a couple tickers, which I have been having go out to the 5-day, 5-minute, and I'll touch this scroll bar on the right so I can actually zoom up a little bit, which I think I have a large area up here. Yeah, I do. 141 is going to be between that. But essentially, we're focused on this. Previous day high. Yeah, I had a feeling that was pre-market high. So that's a pretty easy choose level there. Pre-market low. So their like initial range is kind of really right here, which we don't have to look outside of 137, 138.50. If you want to choose a more passive level, you do have the retest move you can look for, or you can look for them to break 139. That'll help out as well. To the downside, you have 136.60s here, so that could be a really good outside of the pre-market range level. Let's mark that previous day open, previous day low is basically marked, previous day high is marked, previous day close is basically marked. We have pre-market high, we have pre-market low, so Apple's good to go. We could definitely type that up as well. Target 3, what did I say? 41. Apple's been one of those ones, and I told you that a few times now. It's like Apple, Boeing, and there's a third I always forget about because I don't trade it as much anymore. But you always like set a target outside of $1. It's always a dollar movement. And yeah, be sure to drop a like on the stream, guys. We have almost 130 people in here, 38 likes. Let's try to even that up a little bit. But I do appreciate everybody tuning in here this morning. But let's get Apple typed up. Below, I'm honestly just going to say 136.65. I'm just going to go ahead and cheat and jump straight to that better outside level. 136, target 2, 135.30, target 3, 134.20. Alright, so we got SPY and Apple done. Zoom on over to Microsoft, get it going. Previous day high. Don't really need to add the previous day close. Oh, I like this range a lot. Alright, so let's zoom up a little bit. Let's see what's up here. Alright, so Microsoft outside of 242.20 and 239.66. That's a solid one as well. Might as well type that up now before moving on. I like a lot of these pre-markets a lot. Looks like Microsoft's breaking out to the upside. Is SPY doing this, or is this just Microsoft? SPY's going up a little. Apple not so much. And Microsoft's just losing its... Okay, we'll come back to that one. But we had the level set. I like this level a lot, and I like this level a lot. Kind of that almost $3 range. Amazon, they had a really good morning. Wow. Pre-market high. Previous day close down here. Whoops, no it's not. Pre-market low. Might as well delete that then. 97, 98.40. That could be a good play. Previous day open. Ooh. Ooh. Tesla already back up into the mid 130s. What an impressive move they've been having. Looks like under 133.40s. They'll be moving to the downside. Above 136.70s, we can look for more upside. I like that a lot. Alright, so we'll come back to Tesla. I like Amazon. I like Microsoft. I like Tesla. Meta a little bit of weakness, but I like that they're holding flat. It's not like it's weak in terms of like, oh, they already broke a new low. Like, no. It's just they're under the previous day close. They look like they're cascading down a little bit, but they haven't really broken anything yet. So definitely keep an eye on that one. Google, which I don't even know if I have this charted correctly. Oh, I do. Pre-market high. Right there at 98.50. That'll be a good break above. Good break below would probably be about, honestly, right here. But where they're testing right now, of course. AMD, G's. Huge higher open on AMD. So we have a lot of weights opening a lot higher right now. That is definitely one thing I'm noticing. And if not higher, they're barely lower. They're not, and if they are lower, they haven't really cracked anything like you saw on Netflix, like you see on Meta. They're not really cracking anything yet, so I have to pay attention to that. But let's add some more to the watch list and see what else we can get on here. I knew I like Tesla the most, so I'll add Tesla out here. Let me zoom in and pan back up so I can see what the heck's up here. Okay, yeah, we'll have to fix that. There's something in between here. 140. All right, perfect. And by the way, guys, when you see me drawing that fib like that, I'm just grabbing an in-between of that range level just to give me something else. Because I don't like to say, oh, above 137, target 143.50. That's just not as likely as saying the in-between level that's a lot closer. So I like to give that more passive level as well. Above 136.75, target 138, target 2, 140. Target 3 is a far out target, 143.50. Below 133.40s, target 131.50, target 2, 130, target 3, 128.55. Let me bolden these a little. Good morning, Ace. Good morning, Deep. Good morning, anybody I might have missed. Promise you I don't hate you. Just didn't see you. But good morning to anybody who I might have missed. T Senior, JN, Ashley, Spicy Pepper, Henry. Good morning, Daffy. Tesla's earnings Wednesday for your information. Microsoft's aftermarket tomorrow. Yeah, it's earnings season. Thank you for the reminder. Good morning, Ian. Glad to see you. Or Lan. Ian or Lan. Not sure which one it is, but good morning to either of that. What's up, Burak? What's up, Keanu? All right, so let's continue on. AMD. Pre-market high. Already got that. So 71, which if you guys remember from last week, I've been adding AMD to my list almost every day. And 7108, 7110, this has been an area that just keeps popping up. This level keeps popping up over and over and over and over and over. We've been using this level day in, day out, every day. Either it's a target or it's a breakout level, and it's been getting used a lot over the past couple weeks. So that's a really good break below, with a main target at the previous day close, which is also really close to the gap fill there. But under 7110 or 71, you could target 70, so that's not a bad find. And if it continues to break out higher, we have 7230, 7275. So I think I'm gonna add AMD. Previous day open. How's the music, by the way? Is it too quiet, too loud? Let me know. Good morning, Bronze Boy. Good morning, Goran. Good morning, Jake. To you as well. Good morning, Zaytoven. So I think that one's done. Do I have anything for a target 3? 1, 2. Pre-market high, previous day close. Damn, Nvidia has a really good range too. I like that it's so tight in between these two levels here, between the pre-market high and the bigger time frame 180.19. So that could be a good short-term pull down towards the previous day close, which is not a gap, but it is a good push. But we could look under this area if you don't like that short-term drop. So we could look under the target. And by the way, guys, that's how you should see things too. If you guys have seen my Iron Hands video, by the way, check that out if you haven't. Like let's say it goes above 130 or 397.30s, right? Does that ruin everything? No. We'll just use the target, the first target, as a new break above now. That's how you can use everything. And remember, still apply your same volume, preferences. You should still see certain things past a certain level to get in, or a retest even. You don't just randomly enter just because the number breaks. Don't do that. You guys know better than that. So just for your information, if one of those levels move or adjust or ruins kind of what you initially had planned, it doesn't really ruin anything. You just have to look at a new level now, okay? So that's why we have these targets as well. They're not just targets for that initial breakout. They're also good breakout levels themselves, so make sure you understand that. G to the M, 48K sound, nice. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, iChange. So let's see if we can add at least one more on the list. I would like to have at least one more. I don't like most of these, I'll be honest. I liked Microsoft a lot, but they just kept moving. Now it's too close to that area. Whatever, we'll just add Microsoft. What did I say was in here? Oh, 243.50. Below 239.60's target. Target 2, 37.25. Target 3, 236. And then bolden that so everybody can see a little easier. Good morning, Kaizen. Good morning, Mel. Oh, you already said good morning. You're just saying Spies Week. Good morning, Friday. Friday. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I think I do actually, Jelly Belly. That might be a really good question. I think I do. Yes, I do. I was using oh, that's why. Okay, so Microsoft's one of those special ones, Jelly Belly. Great question, by the way. Round of applause for Jelly Belly for even noticing that. But yes, these are from the weekly time frame. You can see the in-betweens or the control points I added in between. I think the reasoning I did this for, Gel Belly, is I didn't like that on the daily. There's just so many levels. Like, there are so many that I can't even really depict what's a good level or not when I get down to that 5-minute time frame. So I think that's why I did that. I made the decision to do even bigger time frame levels. And I have stated before, it's very important when adding those levels to understand, oh, there's too many levels here. There is a such thing as too many levels. When there's so many levels, I can't understand what's going on. Like you can see out here on Meta, I haven't really been adding Meta because it's kind of that case. Meta is one of those ones that I probably need to add the weekly time frame levels to, instead of going to the daily. Good eye though, dude. Seriously, I'm not joking. Great eye. Great question. Let me add metas though. You'll see even Meta has even more level. Like, it still has a lot of levels with these levels. That's wild. But yes, these are the weekly. 99% of the time though, I'm using the daily. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. See, now you can see, oh wow, it's a lot easier to look at now. What the heck? So it does help you out a lot. But great question, dude. Seriously, I can really tell you're paying attention just instantly based off that, because that's attention to detail right there. But I think I'm gonna leave the list as that, to be honest. I don't really need an entire list to fill the screen. I'm okay with that. All right, so we're all on the same page, though. We understand everything that's going on here. right, sending that list out to everybody, just making sure everybody's getting it. A couple things from the Discord to show. Looks like JBig posting his triple Q levels above 284s or below 283/28270. So keep your eyes on these two areas with targets as well. Mainly watching previous day high for a potential bounce or breakdown. A nice intraday support / resistance flip area. We are near a 4-hour trendline resistance around 284.69, a high from 3 days ago. We could either break for bullish continuation or get smacked back down for a potential new bearish trend. Good luck today, fam. Let's start a great week. Start a week on a good note. I can read English very well, clearly. But as you can see, though, good resistance. Like he says, focusing on that previous day high, you can see right there. And then where that trend line pops up, looking to either smack our head against it or we're going to try to break it. And then he has Amazon bounce of 97.36, 97.20s, targets above, which I think his targets are from his other chart. Below 97.30s, 97.20s. Okay, so he's basically just watching this area here. It's the same area. So he's either looking for it to hold and bounce back higher, or he's looking for it to break and price possibly pull back. And then he has targets on both sides of that. Little typo there. Another little daily watch list by the BB bot. We also have a weekly watch list that gets posted that you can click on and download every Sunday. When it's a Sunday. Last week it was on a Monday, of course. All right, well, everybody should be on the same page. We made our list together. We talked about SPY a few times, what's possible for both sides. Again, and how many of you have been doing that more and more since joining these streams or since tuning in or just, listening to some of the advice? How many of you have been planning for both sides every single chart now, or at least a little bit more? Good morning, Green Candlestick. Hope you had a great weekend as well. Good morning, Big Lou. Good morning, Steve. You expect a big drop at open, Mel? Why is that, Mel? Good morning, Manny. I hope you saw my tag last night, Manny. I did tag you on trade floor. Every day now. Good, good, good. And it's crazy because that takes out literally like 50% of your issues right there, because a lot of us, when we start out, don't think about, I should try to, you don't think about it in a psychological way, like, I need to keep an open mind. I need to think about, okay, what's possible for up, what's possible for down. And it kind of passes you over. You don't even think about it sometimes, but it's actually some of the most crucial info is to plan for both sides. Therefore, whenever, whatever happens, you're not sitting there freaking out or surprised or shocked, or you're just left without a plan. It's super smart to point out, okay, wow, this is what bulls want and this is what bears want. Exactly. You can make money both ways, and you should never put yourself in a position where you're saying, I'm only good at calls or I'm only good at puts. I don't really look at that. That's a very bad closed mindset that you're putting yourself into. So never say that out loud. Never expect that from yourself. Never, even if those results are true, it doesn't matter. Don't ever put yourself in a position where you're telling yourself, I'm only good at calls. I'm never going to look for the downside, or I'm not good at puts. I'm never going to do this. Don't do that. But that's good. It looks like a lot of you who answered just now are planning for both sides. Besides Microsoft, are there any other tickers where you'd currently use weekly emerging rather than the daily? I like Meta and Microsoft both for those. Sometimes you could do Netflix, but I've actually been finding success with either. It seems that either work out. So it's not like it's like some huge adjustment when you go from daily to weekly emerging candles. Don't think about it too hard. But yes, there are plenty. I just can't think of them, of course. From the main ones we look at, though, Boo, I would say Meta and Microsoft are the main two that you would do that on. Maybe Amazon, maybe just ever so slightly, maybe, but it doesn't really ruin the chart that much. Exactly like Trading Cowboy said, and you guys have heard me say it a billion times now, exactly how he just typed it. The market and how we trade it is conditional. You look for a plan, you react to that plan. So if this happens, that happens. If that happens, this happens. That is what conditional means. When one thing happens, you're looking for the other to happen. If not, you stick to whatever you planned if it goes against you. Be conditional. Be conditional. Have parameters set. Listen to those parameters when they hit or when they don't hit. You do calls on one platform, puts on another. I could see how that would be useful. Don't be biased. Don't trade first 10 minutes. Preach, Burak. No problem, Boo Boo. That was a great question you had. But how's everyone's weekend, though? You know, besides the stock market and everything else that we're talking about. How was everyone's weekend? We all have a good weekend. We get some relaxing in. Any hard work on the weekend? People do some studying. Hopefully some of y'all took my advice and went through some of the past watch lists just to review them. You know, throw them on your screen. Review how price reacted. And of course the chart links. Hopefully some of y'all took advantage of those. Bengals won, Bills lost. Can't complain. Yeah, man, some of those football games were wild. How about them 49ers, though? Jimmy and studying, how was yours? Mine was good, man. I relaxed. I chilled. I got a little bit of work done on a couple of things I'm working on for like the chat and for the YouTube, but I didn't really finish anything. Worked all weekend. What's up, Hammered Toe? I haven't seen you in a while, man. How you doing? Reset on the weekend. Got to talk with the almighty Devin. All good. Oh, you're one of Devin's dudes. Awesome, man. I hope you're enjoying that. Devin seems to be taking that very serious. He'll literally be up at like 5:30 in the morning talking about, oh, I have 13 meetings today or this or that. You know, he's very serious about it. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Reviewed the 9 EMA setups. I forgot the workshop number. Oh, let's test this. Somebody type. Here, let me just type it. I'll be the. Okay, that didn't work out. Okay, those didn't work out. We'll fix that later. I did set up Nightbot, but it didn't seem to set up yet. I'll fix that later. The chart links to double check to see if my levels are on par. Appreciate it. Oh, nice. That's the way to do it, Jackson. That's the way to do it. Killed my crypto trades all weekend, 31-8. Had a chance to finish reading in the zone, watching again a few lessons on the BB course. Awesome, Manny. Very happy to hear that. I saw you working hard last night, posting a few things. Yeah, sinful. That was a exclamation mark fail. $762. If that's the case, then you need to review more. I know you're gonna be like, well, no shit, I need to review more. Because maybe it's not necessarily what you do during the trade. Maybe it's where you're entering is wrong. Maybe you're entering too early. Maybe you should wait for a better retest. I see people who say that to me, 762, a lot of the time only take open range breakouts. If I showed them, hey, look, there was a retest that happened, 20 minutes later, then they would have been like, oh, wow, I could have taken that retest trade instead of just taking that initial trade. So if you catch yourself catching a lot of open breakouts first, like the first move, that might be the issue. So that's a thing I tell a lot of people. But again, don't make it seem like, oh, this only happens to me. This happens every trade. It definitely doesn't. And if it does, then your entry is off. It has nothing to do with, oh, you should wait for the retest. No, you just need to wait for a better, slower approach to the price action. So don't just take the first one that breaks out. I'm not saying you do that, but that's the case for a lot of people who hit me up in that manner. TradingView grabs quotes from a different source. Spin Garlington. Also, I do know that there is TradingView plans that are non-paid and paid. I'm pretty sure the non-paid are even more off than the ones who are paid, if that makes sense. Hell yeah, it does, Justin. I've seen a few people talk about trading with my system, the charting system, trading on Forex, trading pairs, currencies. And then I've seen some people trade it on crypto and done really well as well. And a lot of people are like, well, how does it work on the stock market and crypto and Forex? Because it's just price history. Again, remember what you're trading and charting. We're just charting price history. If something has price history, the way I chart and trade is going to help. Because it's just price history. Futures, Forex, equities, non-equities. I mean, it works. Bueller, is it alright if I catch a bag today? Got through most of your course and I'm ready to kill it. Yeah, go ahead, Money Lisa. Get you a couple duffel bags. Good morning, everybody. We have over 230 people, 91 likes, though. Let's try to even that up, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Exactly, 762. Exactly how you put it. And I'm not gonna say every single one you've traded is a range trade, but a lot of the time, if it's a range trade, you need to just stick to your plan too. If you catch yourself cutting, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, as long as you're not over your head in the position, of course. Studied this weekend, looked at my charts. My goal this week is to start posting my mental and real trades on Discord. Good stuff, Carrie. Honestly, I wish a lot of people would do it, Carrie. I always give Jazz Loves Kicks credit. Your boy Joe, he posts a lot of those as well. I think that's Isaiah, if I remember correctly. They post so many of those, entry, exit, where would your stop loss be, giving them a little bit of constructive criticism on it. Where would your target be? It's good to think about these things. A lot of people are always like, oh, that doesn't help. And those are the people that aren't going to succeed because they're not going to take time to practice. Totally fine, Ruben. You're not hurting my feelings. Totally fine. Good morning, John. The market always respects previous price history. Preach, dude. It does. Even if price doesn't react the exact same way, it is going to react to these levels of price history that we use. Every single level in this chart that's from the bigger time frame is essentially a break spot. It's going to have those hits. Let me put my headset on. Let's get Devin in here. Jam some music with y'all.
Yo.
How's it going?
Pretty good. It's Money Monday. Are you ready?
I was born ready. Your boy Joe, big credit to him. Mental trades back to back. 100%. I'm in the mood for a headset too. Got the tunes jamming. We got about 3 minutes before the market opens.
Good morning, everybody.
Make sure
Hope
you
you had
sit
a
up.
good weekend.
Make sure you sit up next to your mic.
Can you hear me? I'm like pretty close to it already.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just Discord. That's more like it. Pretty sure I smell a Monday here.
That's a good meme, wasn't it?
I like that it's a cat because it reminds me of Garfield because he hates Mondays. Garfield was a real one. Likes lasagna, hates Mondays. I mean, stand-up guy.
Sonny sounds pretty good. All right. We're going to get a pump today. We're going to get a dump today. What's it going to be?
Me and Taylor spelling Devin the correct way.
We got any good earnings this week? I haven't looked yet.
Oh yeah, there's a ton this week. The earnings season is upon us.
Sweet.
Minute and a half before market open, be sure to check all of your list. It's because we care. It's a calm before the storm. Possibly. Who's to say the storm hasn't already started? And yeah, be sure to tune in. If you're just not tuning in, be sure to drop a like on the stream. If you want to go back into the stream and listen up on SPY, be my guest. That we always cover the beginning. The beginning we always cover SPY bigger time frame, SPY smaller time frame, and then after that we proceed to make our list. Decent pre-market though on SPY. We got about 45 seconds before open. A good job in the charts channel, everybody. I'm seeing a lot more charts than the previous weeks. Good job.
Yeah, Microsoft after hours on Tuesday. All right. It's a good one. Here we go. Hurry up and wait.
A little bit of a pullback so far in the first minute and a half, minute and 10 seconds. Discretionary moderately weak. Financials, everything's still relatively flat. Tech's up the most with energy. Oh, let's go to that chart now.
Well, Microsoft doing the opposite again. Go figure.
Ooh, Amazon. Discretionary sector and the comm sector, Devin, both pulling back pretty nice. And semiconductors. Huge test by Netflix in the first few minutes.
Big price action on Netflix.
Microsoft testing a break below while Apple's breaking to the upside. That's going to cause some confusion in the tech sector and SPY. Definitely want to keep my eyes on the relationship between Apple, Microsoft, and then Tesla, Amazon today, and then of course Meta, Google, and Netflix. That's your comms, discretionary, and tech sector, all in the same watch list. Netflix trying to hold pretty good. Nvidia's testing a really good level. Same for AMD, same for Google, same for Meta. A lot of indecisive candles in the first few minutes on a lot of those tickers I just went through.
Like Tesla. Tesla made a nice little retest.
Apple's the strong one from open. Happy Money Monday out, Quinn.
So I'm popping this pre-market high, popping 114. 114 is that much needed level we need to get over.
Good morning, John. XLC, good look at week, good call out. Good morning, Sylvia. Always happy to see your name pop up. We got 250 and about half that in the like count. Be sure to drop a like on the stream if you have not already. Highly appreciated. It's free to drop a like.
Tesla going green on the candle on the 10-minute, trying to come up towards pre-market high. Looking back down.
Amazon super weak still, making a new low of day again. Amazon very weak in the first 5 minutes of the day. Tesla trying to help out Apple, Meta bouncing as well. We have the comms
Google
sector
helping out too. Comms helping. Yep. My bad, Josh. Netflix popping up too. Apple's popping this next level on this bigger time frame for me. Google's coming up to that pre-market high. Netflix about to pop its previous high. See if it's going to get over that and get going. Breaks 345. Netflix wants 350. Popping previous intraday high on Netflix. Get some crazy buyers on Netflix. See if that's going to continue. I pushed up off that yesterday high. XOM still pushing higher over 114. See if it's going to keep it going. Berkby's coming down. Nvidia's at the yesterday high still to the downside.
SPY still rejecting too, even with all this movement.
Yeah, Berkby's definitely not helping with that.
Watch Amazon to break 95.90. Watch Microsoft to break 239.60s. If that does, that's not going to help out their sectors. Watch for those to hold or break. A lot of pullbacks on a lot of those moves just now.
Google and Meta rejecting. Google the most. Netflix trying to make a new high. We're still holding up pretty well. Microsoft hasn't broke pre-market low. Making new highs on Netflix over 345. See if it pushes towards 350 now.
Tesla pushing high of day, breaking pre-market high. Yeah, we got a little bit of push and pull action today. I think we're all used to this by now. Microsoft turning green. This is really good for Apple in the tech sector. If we could see Amazon turn green or even get a little bit of reversal, that would be very good for Tesla and all of the discretionary sector. comms are all wicking down except Netflix. And yeah, Q should be making new highs. Microsoft just recovered a little bit, and Apple stayed where they were, so that's good. So should be seeing Qs coming up a little bit. Don't even have to look to know that. Good call out though, Isaiah. IWM at PML. Good call out, D-Touch. Even with all that movement, SPY did not go anywhere.
Yeah, Brick B's coming down, not helping. Nvidia hasn't gone anywhere. Amazon's definitely not helping out.
Check. You'd hope. Good morning, Bueller and all. The coffee and the chart are ready. Love to hear it, Hector. Hope you have a great day, man.
Hit that first 10-minute candle in the market. Tesla moving higher over that pre-market high. Microsoft moving higher over opening price.
SPY still under today's open. Keep eyes on today's open and pre-market high.
Netflix almost retested that yesterday high, coming back up. Microsoft pushing higher. Nothing else doing too much.
VIX dropping, dollar building base. Could call out Daffy. Apple a little top heavy with low volume on the second candle. Third candle right now wicking down. Nothing crazy yet though. Microsoft definitely helping out the tech sector. Again, keep eyes on Amazon 95.90s. Google still rejecting. AMD got a good pop. Can Nvidia get a good pop over 181.60s? Keep your eye on Nvidia 181.60s and 178.20s. Can they push today's open on SPY? So far they've hit it. Can they push over it though? They're trying. 2 more minutes in this 5-minute candle. Good job, Sand Dollar. Puts on Baba from Friday. Closed for 62% gains, dude. Beautiful job, man. Very happy for you. Protect
Nvidia
those gains.
coming up to pre-market high now after not getting too much movement on open. That could help SPY up here, get to opening price. Apple's still holding really well. XLM holding pre-market high. See if Netflix is gonna get this pop. Nvidia popped this pre-market high real quick and wicked. Meta coming back up to pre-market high yesterday, high area. Amazon getting some buyers. See if that helps out Tesla.
Healthcare green, could call out Isaiah. Actually, they're red again. But they're flat. I would rather you just say flat. Like discretionary now, they're positive 0.12. That's flat. It's initially flat, even if it is slightly green. Still, though, good call out Isaiah. Thank you for saying that. Because that's the second heaviest sector. A lot of people overlook healthcare. It's crazy too, Isaiah, because we'll have days where everything's rallying, and let's say healthcare is falling off a cliff, like just having a horrible red day. A lot of the time, that'll be what holds us down, and people will always be like, well, what the heck, why isn't SPY moving? Well, you got to remember, SPY isn't just Apple, it isn't just tech, discretionary comms, there's healthcare, financials, there's tons of other sectors in there, when pushed together, can be a very ultimate force to bring down SPY or to bring it up. So remember, it's not always just one sector or one other, tech or it's always a combination of sectors. SPY calls with stop loss at 395.80 is looking good here if we can hold over today's open. It's essentially what a lot of people should be looking out for: a hold of today's open and a break over 397.30s.
Meta getting that yesterday high again. Netflix near high day. See if it's gonna pop high day.
Good job, Dave.
Pushing towards that. 350 on Netflix. Netflix popping that level with increased volume on the short-term time frame. Let's see what we get here. SPY coming to that pre-market high. Netflix pushing. So we can get 350 now. Come on. 348.24 pop. Let's go. Netflix moving a little bit. Slowing down towards that 350 level here on Netflix. Netflix new high day. SPY coming up over that pre-market high. Meta pushing higher. Amazon coming up. See if that helps Tesla. Let's holding over pre-market high. Q's going. Google's coming up now. See if it pops pre-market high.
Anybody in SPY calls that I just called out, you should be up already. Take some trim as it's pushing pre-market high. Your main target is 399 after trimming a little bit here.
Nvidia pushing over that pre-market high as well. XOM holding over pre-market high, coming back up. Apple new high day helping SPY here. Looking pretty good.
Oculus from Meta extends partnership with the NBA and WNBA.
Push in. Amazon's at the yesterday high. Met a new high day again. Google's right at that pre-market high.
Thank you, Keanu. Bueller Trading just spoon fed us on spot. Appreciate you, big dog.
That's about to make a new high day now. Amazon still needs to get through that yesterday high. Google getting back over that pre-market high, testing that previous intraday wick there. 99 next on Google. Got our new 10-minute candles coming in.
Healthcare definitely turned green now, Isaiah. Good call out. Discretionary picked up. Tech picked up. Comms picked up. A lot of your smaller sectors picked up. Financials turned green. A lot of your very small sectors are still red. But ever so slightly. Not like a crazy percentage or anything yet.
Netflix pushing 80 cents off 350. Good spot to start scaling out on that one.
Good call out, Dev. Hey, totally fine, Noxta. Never let anybody get in your way. Never let noise get into your way. If you're focused on something, focus on it. Someone saying do this, do that, screw them. Focus on what you're focused on. Your path is more important. Took today's and tomorrow's calls from 395. Popping writing. Tech looking good today. Mental trading Tesla. Great hold of the pre-market high and now at the next target. Good call out, Sherman.
By making those new highs. See if we can get over 398. Getting over 398 on SPY. Meta pushing higher. Apple pushing higher. Google getting over that pre-market high. Tesla helping out. Amazon still hasn't popped that yesterday high. That happened definitely to help out with SPY. NVIDIA pushing a new high. There we go, SPY. Netflix slowing down right against that 350. See if that's going to come back and retest.
All right. Who's in these calls on SPY? You guys should be up a very large percentage already being in this trade less than 15 minutes. Do not be greedy. I know my boy Burak is. I know WMCD is. I know that Daffy is. But I want to see some of you guys taking profits and enjoying those profits. You did a very beautiful, good job taking calls and breaking over today's open, keeping your stop loss at 395.80, and now we're up at 398.30. Jesus, I cannot speak today. I want to see people taking profits. I want to see you enjoying your day. I do not want to see people saying, I'm still in. You should be in runners or any of that. You should not be sitting in your full position still.
Everything he just said applies to Netflix as well, if you join that party. It is popping 350 right now, though. Meta new high day, Google new high day. Seem to really be helping the market out. The video getting it going now. Looking real good on the video. RB is starting to pick it back up. If it gets over pre-market low, it can definitely help SPY get going some more.
And what do we look for after an open range breakout, everybody? Let's say it slows down finally. What is something we can look at for a second possible opportunity? What do we call that? Does anybody know? Exactly, the 80, the retest. That's exactly what we're looking for now. And what can we do fib-wise to give us some sort of short-term confirmation? What is something we can do? Where can I put a fib at? From what to what? Even though we don't have it yet, but what could we mark? Exactly. From breakout to the slowdown. Breakout to the high. Lie to high. So let's just say it. I'm not saying it is right now because we don't have confirmation yet. There could still be a new high made right here. But let's say that high is right here. Let's just say this is it, right? Where can we go from? The point of the breakout, right? Which actually is from today's open if you want to be serious about it. Up to this area, right? So where should we be looking for a short-term retest? Between 397.30 and 397.50. It should be a short-term retest here if this is the high. Again, this is all situational. We could still push a new high here and completely invalidate that. But I'm just saying, in case that is the high for right now, what would we be watching? So 397.50 all the way down to 397.30s. This is the area we need to watch for a possible reversal. Holy crap, that wick was crazy. But great answers, everybody. I'm really happy to see a lot of you guys paying attention. Of course, not just from the open range breakout, but from the retest and what to mark. It's a combination of both, Boo Boo. If that's a question. I didn't know if you meant to type that or not.
Microsoft slowing down. Amazon couldn't get over that yesterday high. Google back under pre-market high.
I like how Burak said that too. Post on the trade floor to see visual if it helps. There's tons of people posting in there right now as well. And guys, we have almost 150 likes, to almost 300 people in here. Let's try to even that up a little bit.
So far, just a little bit of slowing down, a little bit of retesting. Nothing really selling off too crazy.
Tesla's peak was up 4.20% so far.
You got that first 30-minute candle, new 10-minute candle in the market.
You guys should be bullish still. There shouldn't be any change of pace here. Long wick or not.
Up towards that previous high. Apple's at new highs, getting over 140. Tesla new high day.
Spy new high day.
Tesla's almost at 140 as well. That's weird to say. With Apple, Tesla and Apple the same. Netflix about to make new high day, getting over that 350. If it gets over 350, it's got a good little run. Nvidia new high day. Getting that next little push on SPY here, see how much we get.
Lee then made over 75% from your Netflix call out.
Oh yeah, man. I like Wagyu and stuff.
Yeah, Tobias, I just wasn't saying anything. I was typing in chat, so I wasn't talking. And glitch or not, guys, the wick still held, so it's not like that really ruins anything. He's shocked by that wick. Fell off his chair. Who says I'm in a chair? What if I float?
But it's still holding up well. Tesla trying to push new highs still with Apple. Google coming back over that pre-market high, needs to get over 99.
Hammock trading. When would I start looking at put opportunities? When I see a bearish candlestick pop up at resistance is a good initial signal, and then a break of that consolidation from that candle, or a break back under 397.30s in today's open. You should not be looking at entering puts yet.
Nvidia making another new high.
Possible third wick on SPY here. 50 cents away from the main target at 399. But getting some wicks now. We'll see if some pullback happens. We did have a little short-term pullback, but nothing crazy yet. Microsoft's still in range. Amazon's still looking a little weak, but it's nice to see them pulling up a little bit. Tesla killing it. That's pretty clean too, because they kind of held that first initial breakout. Point of breakout to the high on the slowdown. Oh, yeah, I'm blind, sorry. Not really much to go off of there, but nice to see them holding with a long-legged candle above 136.60s. Meta, Google.
Netflix make a new high day. Doesn't get much more of a push here. Probably gonna come back and retest something. Another new high day. It's like Com's doing a lot of the work. Apple, Microsoft just not the same. XOM losing its yesterday high, now coming down towards pre-market low.
King Carnage, it literally just happened. If you want a better review, just go back into the stream. I was very clear on what I was saying today. I'll give you a trade review, but that literally just happened like 15, 20 minutes ago. So it's almost better for you to just go back in the stream. Not trying to be a dick, but it's in the stream. Microsoft broke today's open, pulling back. Meta, new high of day, still toting along. Good stuff, Meta.
Netflix getting it going now, 351.82.
Yeah, comms are strong right now with Meta and Netflix. And Google's not really hurting them right now. They just aren't doing anything.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, this next really good spot for Netflix is 360, as long as it holds 350.
Noxta, same answer for you, man. I mean, it was literally right there in stream. I don't know what more else I could show. We were looking at the break of today's open. That was key. We had this little dip and the rip. We were looking over today's open. First little area for people to trim was after we broke pre-market high. It was an early 40% entry. 40% entry was after it broke pre-market high. Or not pre-market high, but 397.30. Rising volume, you can see it on the candle there. And we made it up to 398.50, which this is where I was telling people to please start trimming. I do not want to see people bag holding today. Bueller, quick question. How do you adjust your chart so that you can see more of the dark space where the current price is at? Like when I zoom in? Oh, more of the dark space. I was thinking about something else. Hit the cogwheel, chart settings. Go to time axis. expansion area, and you can make it like 500 if you want. You can make it more of that if you really want to. You can adjust it. I try to keep it between like 20 to 50. 25 seems to be like kind of the meat spot. I like it to the right because I like to show people, and you guys will see me do this. I try to zoom in and I try to keep it as clean as possible. But I try to zoom in and then show just a little bit to the right so you guys can see some of the previous day levels, like the previous day close, the pre-market information. So that's why I try to put that there. No problem, Noxta. And again, guys, go back in the stream. Seriously, I mean, I'm not trying to be that guy, but it was pretty clear where I was saying it. It's not like I just said it randomly. I also typed it in the Discord at the same time, too, so you can check that out, too, if you want. I think another thing that gave me confidence, without even really thinking about it, was the fact that it dipped down the first 5-10 minutes. I mean, first 5 minutes, really, and then held the next 5 minutes to make it that 10-minute. But I think what gave me a little bit of extra confidence, I guess you could say, I'm not going to really say, like, oh, I knew it was going to do this, because I didn't. It just gives you extra confidence, and you go off of that. But was the fact that price dipped down and held the previous day close. I mean, that's a pretty strong area to come down and hold. So to do that in the first 10 minutes is pretty impressive, and then to bounce from that is a pretty optimal breakout. It's not like that's hard to see. So that's another thing, too, is what did it go down to and hold? See you later, Daffy. Have a great one, man. Good gains. He got some gains on the SPY call out as well. Let's go back and see. Again, you can go back in Discord and look. Go back to my beginning message. I said, watch today's open on the open and pre-market high on SPY. Initial range is 395 through 97.30s. SPY calls with stop loss at 395.80. Looking good here if we can hold over today's open. A bunch of side info. Good chart money, Lisa.
Short-term volume coming in to retest the previous intraday high. See if it's going to pop it.
Pushing pre-market high at 397.30s. I posted it 2 minutes later, giving everybody the insight on that. You can see Dappy up already over 50% on that. Telling people to trim here, and that was when I was telling y'all that in the stream when we're really close to 399. It was when we were at like 398.30, I think I was saying that. 390. It was right above 398, I was saying that. 60%. Runner over 100%. Burak's counting up the money with Hasbula. He also had the same thing charted. You can see he went down to the previous day close area, held, got a good bounce for today's open.
I'm getting that new high. Not too bad volume, the short-term time frame. See if we're going to keep it. Meta's pushing higher. Tesla's right there. Google's pushing up towards 99 again. XM's getting back over pre-market high. Berkby coming up to that pre-market low yesterday high area. Netflix still making new highs.
All right, guys, you should be taking full profits here and waiting for better breakouts or a better retest. Great job on 398, 399 target. That was the main target from the breakout above today's open in 397.30s. Do not be greedy, guys. This is a great time to take profits. Bullish today at open, giving the gap over previous day high. The dip at open was just a retest. Good call out and review by Leland. Devin also called out Netflix today. I saw Leland and Devin both profit from that. Good job on that. I'm also trying to type at the same time so I keep everyone on the same page. Trying to cater to everybody, as you guys can see. Had a little bit. Oh, excuse me, I hiccuped. But we had a little bit of a short-term retest. Just wasn't beautiful. It's really a bit of a base, really not even much of a retest. That wick happened within a second, so it's not like you could have adjusted on that. But still, nice little base hold right here. See if that's enough strength and consolidation for them to continue higher or not. Apple struggling with 140. Microsoft struggling with the lower high, fighting today's open again. Amazon got a good higher low in, which is a good bullish scenario, but they are still under today's open, which is going to be needed to really get some buyers stepping in. Tesla also slowing down around the same price as Apple. Meta slowing down under 142. Google under 99. Nvidia under 186.50, still holding. And Netflix under 353.50, which it's crazy to say 350 on Netflix right now. Really good moves by them the past couple weeks. "45 minutes, I'm already done." Good job, Leland. Not letting bias get in your way, just focusing on the levels. That's what I like to see. Looking for another open range breakout above 399 here in a second. See if they end up popping it or not. The retest of 400 is coming a lot faster than most people think. Already back up here after that little bit of a dip. Pretty good volume and candlestick here. We'll have to see end of day today what this one holds. If this holds a new high, this is most likely going up to 405, 407, maybe even the 412, which was kind of like this level. It's just from the past. You know, this is kind of where we went up to recently and rejected, so we need to get over it. The level that we've been fighting against for a longer time is 412, though. We had a really good kind of bull trap happen right there. And then we had a good rejection, another good rejection. We haven't really been there since we had that longer dip happen, that bigger pullback. That long period of consolidation, we got a breakout, a retest, and now we're back up to that point again. Remember, when in doubt, zoom out. It's always good to go back out to the bigger time frames and remind yourself what has happened. New high of day on SPY.
You get that new 10-minute candle in 30 seconds as well.
Also, from the plan I showed y'all this morning on JBake, he did really good out the gate on Amazon. Getting the SmackDown at open. If we get a pullback for a clean entry. Already hit 3 targets to the downside. 95.70 is a good area for potential bounce, but if we lose that, it will get real bloody. And then he made, I think, 12%. Yeah, 12% overall in the trade. Shows entry. Shows his first scale where he took profits. Very good spot. Second scale, and then as price pulled back up, he finally got out of the position entirely. So really, really good job by JBake and the BB community today. One of the main leaders in chat. Which we have so many of them. It's crazy to say.
Eric B getting over that yesterday high now. See if it's going to get over pre-market high to help spy out.
Good stuff, Manny. 85%. What a great start to the week. Rally base, rally exactly, Jazz. Good eyes. Beautiful vision. I always love seeing those lead land trade reviews. Can't wait to see it. See it, Tobias.
Apple close to new high today.
What do you mean by that, though, Steven C? You said sold too soon on SPY. Will focus on scaling out on positions better this week. What do you mean sold too soon? Where'd you end up selling at? Are you saying that because prices moved up higher now, or are you saying that because you truly were trying to hold past that target? Let me know. And we have 170 likes, over 300 people. Again, everybody, be sure to drop a like on the stream if you're enjoying some of today's content. So far today, we've called out Netflix and SPY. And we've just kind of been updating a lot of tickers that move the market. Exactly. Taking profits is never too soon. You could say you had weak hands and you didn't make it to the target you wanted to hold it to. But if you sit there and you're only saying that because prices moved higher, then that's not really a good reason. Is why I'm saying that to Steven. Because you'll see people do that to themselves. They'll beat themselves up and say, oh, I should have held longer. Look how much it's up now. It's like, dude, how are you saying that to yourself, you know? But if he means it in the sense of, oh, I had this plan, I just didn't stick to it. Well, that's another thing. That's a whole nother issue. Sold last of my runners 184% from the early SPY call out. Thanks, Bueller. Good job, Joey. Beautiful job, man. That's what I like to see. Protect those gains, Joey. No double dipping.
Money Monday, boys. Money Monday. Bagging that new high push. See how much we're going to get. Buy touching 399. More trades from me.
I hope you enjoy your training, though, Jazz. Hope you have a lot of fun with that.
Thanks for the SPY call out, Josh. Sent you my profits.
I thought you were reading someone's comment.
Apple making new high a day. Microsoft needs to pop that pre-market high. Amazon needs that yesterday high.
And you got a 2K day under your belt.
Not bad for a Monday. Well, I get over 399. Netflix coming back up. Just made a new high day. And you see what Mikey said in the trade results? It's a
No, not
big
yet.
day.
Oh yeah, the 7K day. He's up like 30K now. He's doing really good. And I have not been hand holding him. I cannot stand holding hands.
I know what you said last night.
Sold at 654 contracts. Plan was the 398 level. Sold all contracts. It's a good percentage. Didn't plan. Oh, totally fine, Steven. It's good just to give yourself that self-review. Even if it's not... How should I say this? Even if it's not perfect, you didn't force your hand. You didn't hesitate to enter. Now it's kind of the second step of it. So you're not on square one. You're a little past square one, which is good. You're making progress. Continue that planning, though. I like how you did that today. But I love your touch. Y'all are something else.
NVIDIA is still making new highs now. It's trying to get over 187. Google finally getting over 99. Next stop on that's 100. Little dollar move.
A lot of these break higher plays are still having problems, though, pushing higher now.
Yeah, Microsoft, you can usually get that pre-market high. Tesla wicking off 140. Here comes the rejection of 400.
Damn, Daffy with 122%.
Beach Daffy.
I was just looking at that too, Noxta. It's crazy how they've dropped, pulled up a little bit, but really haven't gone anywhere, and they're still having problems in that general area. Like you said, the PDH. I swear to each and every one of you, this is a Minecraft song and we just don't know it. What song is this?
Here comes Amazon trying to get over previous day high. That's what we honored. XOM coming back up. Google pushing.
Majority of the sectors are green. If you guys remember from the open, a lot of these were flat, and a lot of the lower ones were red. Almost all of them are green now.
Netflix new high day. Almost up 355. It really does look like it's going towards 360. B couldn't get it going over yesterday high, coming back down. About a new high day, so Com's still really pushing the market. XOM trying to get back over 114. Apple holding 140. New 30 and 10-minute candle. Getting that new high day. Microsoft right at that pre-market high. See if it can get going. That's gonna help. Amazon slightly pushing off that yesterday high. Apple new high day. Tesla coming back up, needs to get over 140. About to get over 142. Amazon taking out opening price now. Pre-market high is a little bit way above.
Really good push by SPY Bulls today so far, especially with that strong candle on the daily from Friday. The higher open over the entirety of the previous day made it a kicker, and they had rising volume. Really good bullish pressure on the day from Friday. Next week is going to be crazy. The Fed raises rates, plus Jerome Powell press conference on February 1st. Apple, Amazon, and Google all report the day after on February 2nd. Next week is going to be hectic. I'm going to be telling people to wait a lot of next week.
I don't like that. All right, Microsoft still hasn't popped this pre-market high. I don't like that. Tesla still wicking off 140. Amazon not getting too much going over opening price. Looks like Apple's the only one steady right now, making new highs. Besides Netflix, just wicked off 355. Amazon not getting it going. Microsoft not quite, but it's battling. Google trying to hold. Meta trying to hold. Netflix holding up. Berkby's holding its pre-market low yesterday high area. If it can get going, they could get SPY the rest of it needs to 400. XWIM still hasn't done much.
Central time zone, Bob. There is more than one time zone.
I'll be Eastern time zone.
Awesome job, Moon. He said, watched your How to Stay in Trades Longer vid yesterday. It's keeping me in my SPY runner. Thanks. No problem, man. I was actually just saying that this morning, that I hope people watch that video. Let me find it. How to stay in a trade longer. Iron hands. I made this video, I think almost 3 years ago now. Yeah, it'll be 3 years at the end of April. But still, really, really good video. This video literally breaks down what to look for in a trade, you know, regardless of where it's going, how it's moving, how much chop is there. It's very smart to watch. Oh, that's your past high? Well, as long as it doesn't pass over that, I should still be in my play. Past high, shouldn't be in that until it breaks that. Shouldn't be in it, shouldn't be in it. And it just shows you how to hold and what essentially you should be looking out for. Great job, though. Shout out Burt Bees. Just type in iron hands or iron when you go to my video section. You should find it pretty instantly. I have 2 of them, but that first one is undefeated.
They're calling you iron biceps here soon. Microsoft's retrying that pre-market high area.
Apple's on fire today.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to see Tesla doing good, even if Amazon doesn't want to move.
Yeah, Amazon's be losing that pre-market, or not pre-market, but yesterday high.
Seeing a lot of tickers hit resistance or slowly pulling back right now. Might be seeing the start of a potential top base here.
Microsoft's peaking above that pre-market high.
Awesome job, Michael. I hope you enjoyed the video. And feel free to reach out in the Discord or tag me or whatever if you ever have any questions. But that video will cover a lot. I guess I should do a list. I mean, you should watch most of the videos on my channel, but again, there's a lot. I should make a list of like top 10 videos that you have to see or something. Maybe I can do something like that. I'll do a video explaining what videos to go watch. A video over videos. Maybe I'll start that today. I'll go make a list and I'll go record a video on what 10 videos you should watch from my channel. Cool, I'm on the swing section now. Loving the series, bro. Awesome, man. I'm so happy to hear that you're taking your time to go through it. I'll see people kind of come to me at first and say, you know, there's just too much content on here. I don't know where to start. Or you got to start somewhere, right? Yeah, obviously Workshop 11, 100%. I would say Workshop 11, JBake's volume video, my swing trading, as you're saying at Green Candlestick. What was it saying? The swing trading video I did from 230 to 1K. The Iron Hands video. Those are definitely the first 4. Maybe even the scalping video, which has like, I think that's my most viewed video. You don't like perfect videos? Shit. I don't like workshop number 11. JBake volume video is key. Dude, it really is. It opened my eyes. You know, it really did. Like, I just looked at volume for rising and lowering moves, right? That was it. I didn't really think about anomalies or volume adding even more confidence into certain things. But trust me, after you see that video, you'll never look at volume the same way again. That was one of the biggest eye-openers in volume for trading for me. Workshop 11 is amazing. I'm glad you like it, Supreme Trade. That's definitely my favorite video on the channel by far. Regardless of it being the second most watched or being the most watched over time, it doesn't matter to me. That's definitely the best video on my channel. Also, it kind of cuts to the chase for anybody who might be joining us who are new or somebody who's been with us and they just need a refresher. That video literally covers everything, you know, from getting the levels to navigating to the types of entries that we like to use. Like literally from basics all the way to the end of the video where I'm covering the rest of everything. You know, it really does cover everything I needed in it. Off to work. Have a great rest of the day. You too, Steven. Good for Steven. I've seen his name in chat or in the YouTube streams for a while now, so I was really happy when he got that trade. Even if he did hesitate and didn't take profits past his like initial area, I was still very happy for him because it's nice to see that. A lot of green today, literally. Tag me on Discord, Bob. I'm not really keen of answering personal questions, though. If you want to join in and ask questions about charting, trading, or anything about the community, be my guest. But hit me up on Discord. That's definitely the best place to hit me up. I am very bad on answering DMs on Twitter. YouTube doesn't have DMs, and I'm pretty active on Instagram, but not even as much lately. Very active on Discord, though, so that's probably the best place to reach me. Shadow trading service? What is that? Oh, like shadow you like I guess like an apprentice type thing? No, I do not. At least not at this moment. That one video is the reason I'm making money only 2 months into trading. I appreciate the credit, man, but honestly, Supreme, it's also on your part too. Give yourself some credit. It takes a lot of hard work and effort and just focus, really, to focus on that, to see any kind of growth. No shit. I've said over and over, there are many people who are pretending to be Bueller. I will not reach out and DM you. I don't have time. So if someone is and their name is Bueller, it's not me.
Wait.
I've said this 1 billion times. Phil, give me 1 second. Is my shadow for sale?
wild black dragon appears.
Yeah, don't DM fake Buellers. It's pretty easy to tell they're not me. Even with the fake profile pic and the same hashtag name, I don't have time to reach out to thousands of people individually. Phil, the video I just linked. There you go. There's JBake's volume video for you, pal.
Still pushing 141. Tesla's starting to come up, see if it can pop 140.
You DM them and ask them for Bitcoin. That's pretty funny. Some reverse psychology. See if they fall for it. I see what you're doing there, Michael. Damn, and I thought Bueller was sending me late night Discord DMs. Alright, guys, so let me show you something. So, you see my name? If you join chat and I'm up here, that's me. If you join in here and you're DMing a Bueller that isn't right here, then that's a fake. This is the main way to tell if someone's fake. If you look at my name, they can copy literally everything on this screen. They could even, or maybe not this, but they could listen to the same Spotify. They can adjust this to look fake. They can adjust this to have the same bio. They can have the same about. They can even have the same hashtag number, the 0001. They can even copy that, a unique code that isn't really unique. It's like NFTs. It's not really unique. So that's how you can tell if you're talking to me or not. If you're in the Discord and you see my name up here, this is me. If they're not up here, they're not me. And if you're not in the Discord, then that's your problem. Be wreck. I can't do anything. I'm not God. I can't go out and stop and delete every fake account. That's something I am not in control of. What I am in control of is making y'all aware on how to tell if they are fake or not. It's a lot easier on Twitter or Instagram to see if it's a fake account because they will have no engagement, no views on their pictures or videos or messages or posts, whatever you call it. You know, their posts will have no information on it, like no engagement. You go to my page and I'll have hundreds of likes, 50 likes, hundreds of likes. You'll see that there's people on my page. That's really easy to see on social media. On Discord, it's a whole nother ballgame.
Microsoft getting going over pre-market high now. See if we can get over 243, going to 244. Apple still making new high days. Nvidia's over 187, going 188. About to hit 400 on SPY. Netflix still pushing, trying to get back over 355. BerkV holding over yesterday high. Tesla trying to get over 140 now. Seeing a couple things that we need to maybe potentially get this push of 400. Google's still holding over 99. Amazon has not made a move, so pay attention to that one.
100% 762. He said, I'm not in the Discord, but a good thing to do is if you think there's a fake, ask a moderator. 100%. There's literally almost 10 moderators in my chat, including me now. Plus, we just don't have time to reach out to hundreds of different people, ask you about how's your trading, and ask you for Bitcoin. I don't even, you guys know me better than anybody. I don't even care for crypto, so it's definitely not me messaging you. Trade results is where we post trade reviews, correct? Yes, sir.
About to smack that 400 on SPY.
5 cents, 4 cents, 4 cents, 4 cents.
Man, Nvidia is blasting, bro. 188.27. BerkV coming up towards pre-market high. If Netflix can get that push towards 360. Did not think that was going to make the move today. A little salty with myself. Google potentially setting this three-bar play up on the 10-minute chart. See if it's going to keep pushing. No, not quite.
Oh, Bob.
New high Netflix. Pop it nicely. Sheesh. That thing's a demon.
We know, Bob. We are more than aware. All you can do is report the account. Move on. Report the account that's messaging you. I'm not talking about this any longer.
I should start screenshotting some of the trolls I do to the fake Buellers.
They are aware. We talk about it every single day. Do you know how to report them, Bob? If you don't, I can show you.
Netflix popped a quick $1 there. Insane.
You don't know how to report them. All right, let's go to Devin's name. Let's say I want to report Devin.
Oh no.
So you right click, you click block, and then a thing will pop up. You can also go to report. Go to block here. It'll pop up with a report message, and you can report them after you do all that. I just showed your gains on stream. I'm sorry about that, Devin.
It's alright.
I needed a test dummy.
For me, coming up to that pre-market high, slowed down. Netflix had that pop. Let's see what we get. So far, Tesla's slowing down right at the 140. A couple cents off of 400. Make it or break it. Yeah, there's been a couple on Instagram. The one on Instagram actually got a couple people. It was a pretty good one. Google pushing higher. Microsoft pushing higher. 5 cents off on SPY. Nvidia's still pushing new highs. 188.50. Candlestick is an indicator for me for SPY. I trade SPY, and I do trade other things within SPY, but mostly just SPY. Nvidia, man. Hope somebody caught that chart.
Dude, literally, as you're saying that, and I don't do one-on-ones, but I am doing one kind of one-on-one with somebody that I've been talking to for months. It's not like something I just started doing. But as you said that, Devin, this person messages me and showed me that they traded Nvidia. They traded from... I'll just show it on the stream. I'm not naming names, but they traded it from this candle here, as it was kind of holding this base. I think it was towards the end of this candle, going into this candle. Bought in there and then sold, actually just now, right before that candle went red, they sold into that 189 area. So an almost $2.50 move.
Netflix pushing over 356. Dude, I really didn't think Netflix was going to 360 today. I'm hitting myself in the head, bro. Ride the 9. That's the note in the journal. Ride the 9. Oh, it's not even anything like that, Dustin. It's just you have levels on the chart, and the stock can do it. It amazes you sometimes what the stock market will do once it breaks a level. Let's see here. Amazon's losing some steam. Yeah, John, it's because we're rational traders, Jonathan. We expect stuff to come back and retest. Give us an 80% entry. Give us maybe at least a little consolidation. Netflix just blasted, mooned. There's no way to really predict those trades. If you can catch them, great. But yeah, you can't get mad when you take profits during that and it keeps going because there's no way to really know that a stock's gonna go and decide to run $15.
400, 400.
400. Let's go. 358 on Netflix, popping it.
Wow, good job, D-Touch, on your trade review.
Yeah,
Brady, are you Brasdy? I'm assuming you are. Amazing trade review, man. I was just looking at that. I like how you highlighted the arrows too, or put an arrow at the volume just to show everybody what you're looking at. Good stuff, Brady. I love seeing those reviews come in.
Ventura, because Webull and all the different brokers, they all pull their quotes from different sources. So, it might not be perfect. Trading view will say something different, but yeah.
Gotta watch them volume workshop videos, so I'm glad you posted that, Bueller. I saved it after the stream. Awesome, Dustin. Glad to see that. Yeah, I hope others take that advantage as well, like you are, in watching that content.
Yeah, comms is by far the strongest sector today.
Semis are too. Semis are pretty big.
Oh yeah, pretty nice and strong.
Which really is just a sector of tech, but still.
Tesla's trying to get over 140. Be trying to hold up, but under pre-market high. Getting that pop over 400 now. Google pushing us higher. Apple holding up. XOM making a breakout over 114 now. Help a spot push.
Totally fine, Gorov. Have a great rest of your day, man. That 90 show is coming out, or just did I think there's? It did come out. I think I saw it on there as well. I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna watch that show. It's like some of the same writers, the dad and mom from 70s show. I think it'll be cool to see. Like, it's a cool idea, but I don't know if it's gonna be like anywhere close to as good as that 70s show. I'm not really big on resurfacing material. Like, if there's something out there and then the same people come out with the same exact thing, just a little bit different, I don't really see it as it's different. I see it as it being the exact same thing. So I don't know. I'm not really a hater of that 90s show. I'm just saying it's literally gonna be, yeah, just like Back to the Future 5. It's like, all right, guys, we get it. Stop. Like the newest Matrix movie. Like, did that really need to be made? No, it was a horrible movie. Like the Matrix is already a completed series. Can we just leave it alone? You know, I'm with that with a lot of things. It's like, all right, guys, if you pay attention to shows, like right now I'm finishing Breaking Bad. They stopped after 5 seasons. They were like, all right, guys, we know we're done here. You know, like good shows know when to stop. Good movies know when to stop. Yeah, Fast and Furious, exactly. That's another great example. Like, why are we needing 10 more Fast and Furious movies? Like, it's not even just because Paul Walker is deceased. It's because we've already seen too much of this content. Like, it doesn't even have to do with Paul being gone. Yeah, there's just way too many. And exactly, Noxta, it's all about money. But there's just so many shows and movies that don't know when to stop. And it is a money thing. You can't lie. You know, you'd probably do the same. I'd probably do the same thing. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm above that. But it does get old very, very quick. And I know a lot of you guys have that same opinion on certain things.
Ace Ventura said a show that I'm actually curious if you've watched. Now that you've watched Breaking Bad,
Oh, I'll be watching that next probably.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Y'all should see that movie Nobody that has the Call Saul actor, Saul Goodman. It was like the story was shit, but the scenes were insane. It was definitely a super cool movie.
Netflix is 80 cents off 360 now.
Boo Boo, I actually was going to say Peaky Blinders next. I saw Peaky Blinders, and it was really good up until that newest season that came out. Like, I didn't even see it because I was like, all right, whatever. I don't want to ruin it for me. Because it's like the same thing over and over again. This time he just moved to America. It's only a little different. But the first 5 seasons or whatever it was is insane. That's like a 10 out of 10 show for sure.
Be getting that pre-market high.
So replicating the same trades that are insanely profitable is not a good thing if you're... No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it definitely gets old as a viewer. Because they're still going to make a bag. Sneaky Pete. I'll have to check it out.
B getting that push over pre-market high, helping SPY out. Google pushing higher, Meta pushing higher, Apple pushing higher. 450 on SPY. Looks like we're going 401. Another pop 401. See if we're gonna hit.
Keep eyes on 402 if this 400.60 holds.
Netflix getting over 360. Ooh-wee. That's my next big level on Netflix.
If you get stuck in chopple in a trade, do you typically cut or do you hold unless it breaks below a significant level after? The latter. I wait until it breaks a significant level below because I don't buy same days or same weeks for the most part. If you are in a same week, though, I could see why you would be tempted to cut prior just because you don't want theta to burn you alive or just your contract to just decay. But overall, though, I wait until that significant level breaks because my reasoning, Noxta, is, you know, if I liked it enough to enter there, you know, I should be liking it enough to not exit until it passes something I've planned out, if that makes sense. Today wouldn't be a good example, though. There really wasn't much chop. There was just sideways movement for 5, 10, 20 minutes, and then there was more continuation higher. So it's not like today was one of those days where you got trapped. At least on SPY. I'm sure there are some charts that are choppy. Apple's been pretty straight up. Microsoft was a little choppy for a bit, but again, I don't know if I'd be trading that one today. Amazon, that one's choppy. That'd be a good example. But most of these have been pretty, not parabolic, but have just been moving up the entire time. There's not really much chop in Tesla. I mean, you could say maybe here, but it didn't really... I mean, it continued higher, though, and made a new high. So it's not really fair to say Tesla had chop. They had a huge breakout. You know, they didn't really have a good midterm retest. So you have to understand consolidation has to step in, right? There's two types of moves. There's parabolic, and then there's non-parabolic. You know,
Amazon's trying to get that opening price.
when this scenario happens, when it's parabolic, you have to understand these are going to pop up a lot because of this. It doesn't just get to keep moon rocketing. It doesn't just keep to go to the moon, going to get its Lambo, when moon, where Lambo. You know, it's going to have that. So you got to remember the difference between those two types of moves and what to expect if one of those happen. You know, if you're parabolic, there's going to be a little bit of sideways movement, which, to be fair, this had a lot of sideways pre-market action, so this isn't totally out of the question. I would say what's weird about Tesla today is that Amazon didn't really do anything. Amazon's actually is just now trying to break today's open. They've hit it, but they haven't crossed it and held over yet. This candle's trying to right now. While Tesla, shit, they've been above today's open since the first 10 minutes. So that was a little off on that. I'm on shorter time frames as well. I wouldn't really say Tesla's a fair example. Or Google. Amazon, I would say, is a very good example of chop. Because all you have is a breakdown instantly. You have your low of day. You get a lower high, but doesn't break today's open, so not really a play there. Doesn't break the new low, still just chopping in between. Another lower high, even though it passed that first one, it still didn't break today's open. Another higher low. Failed to even touch or get near this support, right? It's just now becoming relevant above today's open.
10-minute chart on SPY has increasing buyer volume as we're pushing here. So 3 minutes left, or about 2 minutes left now on this chart, or 10-minute candle. We have increasing buyer volume. Microsoft pushing a new high, Amazon trying to get that opening price, Apple pushing a new high, XOM, Tesla, Google all pushing new highs. BB pushing a new high, Nvidia pushing a new high.
Like I said, keep eyes on 402 if 400.60 breaks. And Noxta just said, you think the smaller pre-market range on SPY/Tesla and the larger range on Amazon have anything to do with how much they have moved? I think it's unfair to say that they have nothing to do with it, but I would say that it is only a little bit affecting it, because the bigger the pre-market range, the more indecisive price can be at open. So that is going to add on to it a little bit, Noxta. 100%. If you have a tight, let's say you're up like 0.5% and you're consolidating in a very tight range, that's going to give the stock a very more decisive explosion, if that makes sense, over a range that's not as tight. The tighter the range, the better, is how you should see it. So yes, it would definitely affect it that way. You're 300% correct thinking that way.
Nvidia's 3-bar playing up right now on the 10-minute. Berkby's still pushing higher. Microsoft finally getting it going here.
Dude, Apple, another high of day. Microsoft catching up. That's a very good sign for tech. And yeah, you can see they're up the most by far, 2.5%. No other sector is even at 2%. The next closest is comms, and that's the combination of Netflix, Google, and Meta. The Amazon Tesla combination are up as well. TX Mac. That seems to be the only decent entry spot so far to DX Mac. The one you just caught, that Scout, that seemed to be the only decent play on Amazon so far today when you're looking at combination with Spy. So very good job being patient. I mean, that took you well over an hour and a half too. So huge props to you. Got a nice 15% on a Tesla call. Only thing I've taken so far. Hey, man, that's perfect, Noxta. What's wrong with 15%, right? Not saying you're saying there's something wrong with it, but that's a beautiful percentage. I think a lot of people overlook that, too. You know, if you were to make 15% trades every other day for months on end, you would not just grow your account. You'd be completely exploding your account. People always want to catch just 1 or 2 trades and get rich, when in reality, stacking those 15% trades, 10% trades, 8% trades, you know, stacking these up over time is what you really want to do. Because right now what you're focused on is just method, reasoning, confidence, right? Getting into one play, getting out, right? In the future, after we've established more confidence and knowledge of what's in front of us, when we're a little bit more empowered in our system and our trading methods, then we can start to pour on more money and premium into those positions. But for right now, we need to be focused on execution. Then over time, you can add in more premium and you can start to take, of course, you'll make more money, of course, but you'll essentially be doing the exact same thing. There is no difference. It's all numbers games, really. You focus on execution right now. Down the road, you can focus on numbers. Continue to stack it up, the Noxta. I love to see that. I'd rather you make 115% trades than make a single 1,000% trade, just because of the mythology behind it and the psychology behind it. You're not gonna catch that. A person who catches 1,000% play is not even going to be anywhere near as good as someone who can make 20, 30, 40, 50, 15% trades. Yeah, a SPY pullback would be nice. I agree. So far, it's been a tear. How is everyone in the stream doing today so far, though? So far, we called out Spy, Netflix. We talked about a couple other ideas here and there. But a lot of the bigger plays have already happened. Now we're just watching a continuation of this very impressive rally by tech mainly, but you have a little help with the push behind with discretionary and comms slowly in second and third. Tech, comms, discretionary. We also had the majority of sectors that were red or opening flat all very green today, so it's very nice to see all those working together. I've been scalping 1 to 3 contract scalping for about 5 months. That's very good. And that's something a lot of people overlook too, DX Mac, is they're like, oh, I'll just do this all now. You know, I'll practice now, and then in the future I'll pick up more contracts. A lot of people, though, in the beginning will pick up multiple contracts below their load, and then they don't even think about mental trading or just taking single contract plays. You know, the execution phase of everything. You know, kind of getting to know everything before going into it too deep. So I'm very proud of you, DX Mac. You and Devo. I don't know why I wanted to say something else. You and Devo are two people who I've kept my eye on for a long time, because I see that you guys have a lot of patience and you guys are focused on mythology and execution. You're not really focused on getting into 60 plays. You're not really focused on making, you know, 1,000,000,000%. You're not really focused on that. You're just focused on execution. Hard to do with NFL playoffs. Who are you rooting for, Bob? Awesome job, Drew. Be sure to check out the beginning of the stream, too. But either way, man, beautiful job. Very happy to hear you're green on the day. Even with joining late, you know, getting yourself prepared early on. Were you rooting for Dallas? Honestly, it'd be nice to see the Bengals go, but I just don't think they'll win. Longtime fan since Tom Landry. Oh, okay. Well, you've been in through their successful days and their rough days. Rip my Cowboys sad day. Bueller, I have a friend who has a big loss last week. Any advice for him? He didn't trade today when everyone is in calls, and he regrets it because he didn't have enough confidence yet. That's good. He shouldn't be jumping into trades after taking a big loss anyway. What he needs to do is take a lot of mental trades. Focus on that. Focus on the staircase up, Jackie. Tell him about the staircase. He needs to focus on mental trading first. So first, he needs to understand how to draw the levels too, how to navigate those levels, and the types of entries we limit ourselves to. Next, mental trading. Need to be able to visualize, and that's how you grow your confidence. You don't just delete your confidence by taking successful trades. You delete your confidence by executing, by reviewing, by mentally visualizing, okay, this is entry, this is exit, this is my stop loss. And over time, we can slowly beat up those emotions. It's not just going to go away instantly, right? And then you can start to tell him, okay, well, then you can get into one contract plays, get really good at making it to the first target. But for now, he really just needs to take as many mental trades as possible for a few weeks, few months, in my opinion. And then he'll grow his confidence, and he won't feel so lost, I guess is how he probably feels right now. But tell him it's not the end of the world. That big loss could be the stepping stone to him truly growing. It's not the end of the world. And honestly, good. When you said he regrets not taking any trades today, good. He doesn't need to be taking a trade today. Because like you just said, he doesn't have the confidence. He took that big loss. He doesn't need to be jumping into more trades. That's not the answer. So I'm glad to hear that he didn't chase. Because if he would have gotten gains today, they would have been very falsified gains, and he'd be having false confidence today thinking, oh, that was just a short-term loss. When in reality, he has to understand there is definitely more pain ahead. But you also need to understand you don't need to be trading to take away that pain. You don't have to trade more to learn. That isn't always the case. You need to review, you need to visualize, mental trade as much as you possibly can, Jackie. Tell your friend, keep their head up. It's not the end of the world, and there is a method to success. It's just going to take time. Time and a lot of effort on his part. Good IB. Devo and I also DM each other often. Hey, nice. Yeah, I love Devo. Devo's good people. Who's going to beat Joe Shiesty? Oh, Sinful coming at you, Sherm. I mean, let's be honest, Sinful. There wasn't really a Florida team to begin with. That was the first half of the season team. No problem, Jackie. And please share my love, too. I really do. I'm not saying I feel bad for this person, but I do hope that they turn things around. The coin IV is still high, Taylor. I'm assuming since you said it was expensive. You should also keep an eye on that if you like paying attention to one stock in general. You should pay attention to what is their average implied volatility, and then notice whenever it's too high or too low based on the options chain you're looking at. So if you go look at like this week's options chain and you see the average is like 85%, and you go look and the contract you're looking at is 100%, 120%, that is going to be a little too high. So it's also good to keep an eye on that if you are somebody who likes to pay attention to just one ticker in general and just kind of keep them on your playbook.
Making another new high here. It's like NVIDIA pushing us higher. Tesla getting going over 140. Apple's still pushing higher with Microsoft. 402 just hit. Sheesh.
Somebody bagged Mahomes just joined shot. The question also remains, are they just buying all this up before earnings season's on tech to bring things back down? Is this to price in potentially bad earnings? Is this to potentially push us up, even if earnings aren't bad, to bring us back down for a better dip buy? You also got to put that those kind of questions in your head as well. Just food for thought, nothing crazy. What is Friday's date? 28th? 27th. So what is the SPY max pain for the week? 392.50, of course. So the max pain is still pretty low. Bueller, on the early pullback and SPY near the open, do you use any timing methods like volume, ticks, add, void to time entries long? Yes, I use volume. I don't really use ADDD or VOLD as much, the VOLD or whatever. I have that saved somewhere. Oh, no, I deleted it. But those would help. I'm not going to say they won't, whoever asked that. Big Stick 2007, those will help. But I mainly just use volume. And I also check the weights a crazy amount, so I have an understanding of the momentum of most of the sectors and their important weights. Damn, Devin, you need to answer Taylor's DMs. What are you doing?
Paid attention to stock charts. Don't want to miss the entries and exits.
VIX finally dropping with this push. It was rising with SPY, initially pushed over 400. Ooh, good analysis, Drew.
All right. Rejected off 402 here.
You're actually in luck today, Bob. You said, would you say higher or low volume today? Those volume bars not looking too high. I can actually see at the top of my screen, we're about 36% of average volume, which is actually pretty good. A lot of the lower volume days you'll see are under 20, 25%. The fact that we're at almost 40% is actually not that bad. I wouldn't say it's a high volume day. I just wouldn't say it's a low volume day. I'd say we're having a good average day. A moderately decent volume day.
waiting on Al to put more juice in the market. He's got all the juice.
Dude, next week is going to be so hectic.
Finally get a little slowdown here. Looks like Berk B coming back to pre-market high. Nvidia coming back a little bit. That was a nice little Monday rally. Okay.
See you later, Bob. Have a great rest of your day, boss. Maxed out the ATR already? Isn't that nice? Juice is decaying. What's up, Al? How you been, man? I know you've been pretty busy in real life. Always happy to see your name pop up. Decent pullback on SPY, not crazy volume yet. Just really busy with new position and shift timing, making it hard to trade. Hey man, you know me. I'm always happy to see you pop up whenever you have time. Thanks for tuning in when you can, man.
You start doing some rock climbing like you did this weekend.
Who, Al?
Yeah. You finally can draw your fib retracement on SPY. This piece holding pre-market high, I like that. See if it comes out and takes that previous intraday high out at. Giving a little 80% entry here.
Nice pullback on Netflix. That was a clean breakout above pre-market high and that next level on Nvidia. How do you journal your trades? I have a, well, if you're talking to me, I don't know who you're talking to. There's a Google sheet we have. I can never find the link to it, to like the one that I can share. Possible another leg up here if we hold 400.60s. My bad. Whoever asked that. Logan, I'll look. So if I go from breakout of 400.60 that high, we're actually under that golden pocket. Is that what you meant? Or were you talking about a different spot, Logan? Oh, 400 psych. My bad. If you go from 400... yes, they're holding that golden pocket. You have that correct. If you go from 400 to the high of that move before slowdown, yes, they are holding golden pocket. Which is fair enough. That's not a bad spot. All right, let's get one review of SPY real quick, guys. So, of the yesterday's close, we had our little area here as well between 396.40 397.30s. We also had the break below at 395. That was never even touched. This morning, as you guys can see, we ended up dropping a little bit below it open. Initially we dropped. held that previous day close, got a good little pop, so nothing really crazy to say start buying, but it is an initial signal saying, hey, there's some support here. If it breaks, could be a really good short. Ended up holding though over the next 10 minutes as they had rising volume break over the 397.30s. What entry is this, chat? What entry is this called? What do we call this type of entry? Rising volume as it breaks a current or a certain price, the level we were looking at for above. What is this type of entry called? Exactly. I was waiting for more answers. We got it, though. 40%. Exactly. 40% entry. Now let's zoom up. Did we get any kind of retest entry today? If you go from point of breakout to the top of the first slowdown, which is actually about here, did we hold anything? Yes. Was it significant? No. It was a short-term retest. Does everyone remember the difference between a short-term retest and the 80% retest? This is what we call a short-term retest. It's still the same thing, but it's not as strong because it's a short-term retest, right? If we would have gotten the pullback down to here and then the pop, it'd be really sexy. I think all of us can agree on that. This is what a lot of people focus on and they miss because they don't know what to look out for. You need to understand there are two types of pullbacks. The short term, where you get sometimes it's a 3-bar play and they keep going. Sometimes it's just a couple candles and they keep going from that same area, right? Or you get that pullback down to the point of breakout. We did not get that today. Let's go back to the bigger time frame. Now on the daily time frame, we did exactly that. We ended up holding this area here, and we talked about possibly testing the 399, 400 area. We ended up breaking it today in a really good breakout. Our first area of saying, hey, this is possibly bullish, is when we held the previous day high and 396.30s. We ended up holding that and getting a good bounce today. You see, we still have low volume, but it's not fair to say because the day is not over. But still nice to see a little higher open after a bullish kicker too. Bullish kicker, higher open. You got good momentum by bulls. Basically, as long as they're holding this 399, you should be bullish. We do still have to worry about 403, 405, 407, and then, of course, the more important 412, which is the ultimate resistance that we have not passed in months. So we will be focused on that. But does everyone understand the breakdown of what happened today? We understand what was the entry points for possible breakouts, even if it was in the first 20 to next 20 minutes after that. So 20 and 40 minutes in, there were two types of entries. But does anybody else have any other questions or any other, just give me a thumbs up if you understand, if you're not asking a question. Foul, I wouldn't think too much about this one. Normally, though, just to answer your question vaguely, is you would want to see a wick showing that there was a retest of the breakout spot. This could be taking profits, shorting, and then people get instantly reversed back up. This one, though, happened literally within like 5 milliseconds, so this one isn't really as important. But normally that shows a good retest, because you got to think, how did the wick get here? Well, that means price had to have dipped and then pulled back up, right? Showing buying pressure. Yes, it's still probable to play a weaker retest. I would say it's like 60%. If you want me to keep playing the same style, boo-boo, you have your 40%, your 80%, of course. I would say that's probably like 50-60%, because it's a little bit better than the open range breakout because you have a little bit of a short-term retest, but it's not as strong as the longer-term retest that we'd like to look for. So I'd say it's a little bit more higher probability than the open range breakout, but not as much as the calming retest trade, if that makes sense. Using that same analogy, same stuff. Sonia. Gotta love Sonia. All right, well, I'm glad to see a lot of you guys understand the breakdown of today's market movement so far. We had a little bit of a laggard behind Microsoft, behind Apple. Amazon was hurting Tesla. AMD, Nvidia didn't really start ripping the first 5-10 minutes, so it really didn't help them out at first. Netflix did really good today, but today we definitely had the tech sector leading. You had comms closely behind, and then you had discretionary closely behind them. So we had a really good move by a lot of the heavier sectors like tech, discretionary, and comms. But I'll see you guys later on. I think today was a really, really good stream. I think a lot of you guys got some good gains today, a lot of good breakdowns, a lot of good examples too. I mean, mainly on SPY, of course. But I called out SPY today. Devin was all over Netflix. We had JBake on Amazon inside of the chat, and we had tons of members, including all of you in here in the YouTube and the Discord, pointing out other charts breaking significant levels, pointing them out, giving good examples, good mental trades. So I'm very, very happy to see a lot of you guys kicking ass today, regardless of taking a real trade or not. Love you all. I'm going to end the stream there. It was a beautiful Money Monday. Cannot wait for Money Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we have a Power Hour stream. So there'll be 2 streams tomorrow. The morning stream and then the Power Hour stream. So be on the lookout for that. But I'll see you guys later on. Have a great rest of your day. And be sure to check out the Discord if you want to catch more insight or be able to talk or engage with everybody else. Because, of course, the stream will be over. But I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you for tuning in.